The summer of 2000, the year 2000, was kind of crazy for me in so many ways. And I had just the previous year in 1999 had to shut down and liquidate my internet company. So that had been preoccupying my life for 10 years up until that point. And then everything just fell apart. .com crash stuff. And so I was suddenly free of being a businessman. I did try again, start up straight away, but then I decided not a good idea. So I went back to study in college, and I trained to be a tailor. And I was in class one day in the afternoon here in Ireland when we always had the radio on, and the guy on the radio said an airplane has just crashed into the Twin Towers in New York City. And everybody, whoever heard it, was like, okay, it's sad that happens. And then we heard a little while later that another plane had crashed into the towers. Then it was quite apparent that something was going on. So this was shocking to me because suddenly all of the art that I had been working on, creating, coming up to that point, it all came together. And this airplane I bought the year previous to the 9/11 event, and it was a part of my art. It's an American Airlines passenger jet, and this was I bought this in a flea market for like, I don't know, $2 maybe the year before, and it was important to me. I didn't know why, but it was important enough that I bought it. So that's one part of what was ultimately a premonition of the 9/11 event, the Twin Towers. There were 4 parts. This airplane was one part. Second part is this painting behind me. I made this painting in the summer coming up to 9/11. And I put the wood together, I made the stretcher, the frame myself. The canvas that I painted on is a bed sheet, good quality one that I would have bought, and I stretched it on the canvas myself. And then it was a blue sky that I was seeking to put on this canvas, a bright blue sky, beautiful day. But there was something else needed in the painting. And what I did, you can see beneath the border area here, the center area, this is one big square area. Along the edges is just brushwork. And this center area where there's like different tones of whites and things that you can see, I mixed the paint with sand from a special beach that I won't say where. And when it was mixed, with a spoon, I scooped it into my mouth and I spat it on the canvas. So this entire central area of this is sand and paint and spit from me to here. So this is about 23 years old, I guess, thereabouts, roughly, depending on what year you're looking at this. It is now as I make it anyway, I think. And yeah, it's been out there all that time. It likes the sky, it likes to be under the sky, I guess, right? Anyway, so that's the second thing. The airplane was the first thing, the toy airplane. This painting was another thing. The third thing I had was a poster And the postcard was a shot of from directly beneath a passenger airplane flying overhead in a beautiful blue sky. And I have been unable to track down that postcard or even similar to it since way back, since it went missing in my life. And that postcard, I had it stuck to the ceiling inside the little hallway in my apartment. So when you looked up, it was like there was a skylight and a plane passing overhead. The next thing that I had was perhaps the most significant and the most definitive piece of art pointing at what was happening here. As I said, I had just gone bust with my internet company, and I had bits and pieces lying around. I had fax rolls from my fax machine lying around, would never be used again. And because it was thermal paper is kind of a cool thing. You can do things with it, you can make art with it. So in my apartment where I lived, we had this 1970s 2-bar, maybe 3-bar electric fire in the living room. And you had a grill in front of it, you know, like they have a grill. And what I did was I ripped off a big strip of paper, and I held it up against the grill of the fire and took it away. And what it left was probably about that big, I suppose. Yeah, about that big would have been it. So turn it sideways, it's a long strip. And I made 2 of them. Don't ask me why, I don't know. I was an artist, I'm an artist. I don't know things or reasons. I'm only a conduit, channeling things and putting things out there. So I made 2 strips like this, and they look pretty funky. And I hung them on the wall immediately inside the door of my apartment in the living room. And I was a very social guy back then. I had a lot of people coming and going into my apartment. And everybody who saw it said, "Oh wow, that looks like the Twin Towers on fire and collapsing." And they were right. It did. It looked like bits of things falling off the Twin Towers, both of them standing there. The windows were, it just really looked like one of the towers because of the shape of the grill on the electric fire. It bum, 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 all the floors going up. So, was that it? Was that all of my things? There was the postcard, there's the airplane, and yeah, the fax paper, and the painting. So all of these things were part of my life in the year just before the event. Woo, do you see that? The wind blew it over. So, yeah, not laughing, it's a serious video I'm making here. Things get knocked down, huh? Yeah. So those are my prediction recollections of the 9/11 event. I had one more premonition also of an event in the USA, also resulting in mass deaths, which was the Vegas shooting, that crazy guy up in the hotel room. I'll make another video about that one. But that's my 9/11 story. I'm gonna tell you, when it all came together for me, I was shocked. I was shocked at my assemblage of artworks and how, wow, they all had a strand, a connection to the big event. So it seems like somehow I, with intuition, just knew that this was happening. I couldn't see it, but I could feel it. Yeah. So that is my 9/11 story. So it goes deep for me because of all the reasons I've just said. I feel a deep connection with that event. Yeah, more on Vegas later.